Yeah, so Genesis chapter 11 had quite a bit of information in it, actually, a lot of story. We had the Tower of Babel, probably the biggest movement in this whole thing, despite the fact that there was a tiny, tiny population back then, and they didn't have a lot of technology. God literally says, these are the words that he says, if as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan will be impossible for him. Tell me if I'm interpreting this wrong, but it sounds like he does not like the amount of power and information that people are putting together. And then he, I mean, yeah, you probably know the next part. Come, let us go down. He says us. So he's working with some other people. Let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other. Pretty strange. I don't even know. I don't even want to get into the rest of the chapter. That's crazy. That is crazy. It's fine if you believe in God, but this is the book with all the information in it. He says they think people are, he says, nothing will be, if we don't stop them, nothing will be impossible for them. What's the implication there? And what's also weird is that, like, I say this in the long form video. If you want to go watch it, it's all of chapter 11. And I guess you'll get there. I'll leave the other parts after this because that's a third of the chapter. I'll leave that in the long one. But the United States has 330 million people. That already is more than the population of the earth in this time. All of them speaking, not all of them, but the vast majority of people living in the United States speak English, a unified language. There's far more of them. The technology is way, way better than a really tall tower that they were literally trying to build to the heavens. Same goes for China. Same goes for India. All populations larger than the population of the earth. And I'm pretty sure other countries too, probably like Japan. And they're like the top, they're known for like some of the best technology in the world. So that's what happens in this chapter. God doesn't like how powerful humans are getting, which is strange, and then intentionally goes down and stops them from developing, which we ended up doing anyway. So someone fill me in here. Why hasn't God done that to modern day societies? Why have we been allowed to develop? Do you think he's abandoned humanity, or do you think he still interacts with us somehow? I mean, there is, I think it's called deism, which is the belief where you think that, I just did that weird thing with my hand trying to get around the mic. I didn't mean to do that. But deism is, I think that's the one where you basically think God created the world and then was totally hands-off, which doesn't totally make sense because he's clearly hands-on in a lot of these passages. Maybe eventually, maybe it could be like half deism, an atheist, and just say that he stopped at some point. I don't know. Because we tend to not see miracles in the same scale that we saw in the Bible. So if you have your own, I'm not going to call them explanations. If you have your own theories, write us a letter. Let me know. Put it in the comments.